She texted, "I'm thinking we should break up." I calmly replied, "I'm with you. Your stuff will be on the porch in an hour." Then she panicked, saying, "Wait, I was joking." But I definitely wasn't. I'm 31M, was just at my desk, going over quarterly sales figures when I got her message. Emma, who's 28, had been pulling these stunts for a while, but this one felt like the last straw. Her text read, "I've been thinking it over and I think we should break up. This isn't working." I just stared at the screen for about 20 seconds, not feeling hurt or surprised, just relieved. This manipulation game was getting old. She'd pull it every few weeks when I didn't go along with what she wanted. Last time, it was because I couldn't skip work for her friend's random Tuesday barbecue. This time, I'd had enough. So I replied, "I'm with you. Your stuff will be on the porch in an hour." Then I saw the typing bubbles pop up and disappear, and then came the flood of messages. "Wait, what? I was kidding, babe. I was just mad. Call me. This isn't funny. I was testing you." And there it was, the moment of truth. I switched my phone to silent and dove into a different task, packing up all her stuff. 2 years of her gradually taking over my space without really settling in had to be undone. I started in the bathroom. 15 different conditioners, a bunch of face creams, and that pricey curling iron she always insisted on using. The cabinet felt so empty without her clutter. Then I moved to the bedroom, where I stuffed away clothes she'd kept for convenience. Her jewelry box that had taken residence on my nightstand, those pesky throw pillows that made sleeping a challenge, and the fake fern she claimed made the room look nicer. The living room was next. Her exercise ball, a novel she hadn't touched but had kept on display, that scratchy throw blanket she insisted was stylish, and the framed photo from her sister's wedding. She looked stunning, and I felt trapped. In the kitchen, I found her collection of artisanal teas, a blender that had only been out once, and the fancy martini glasses she wanted for her Instagram posts. The slow cooker she'd pushed for but constantly complained about for taking up too much counter space. After about 40 minutes, 5 boxes were filled and ready to go. Everything was neat and waiting for pickup on the porch. My phone had turned into a storm of notifications. 52 missed calls, a ton of texts, and voicemails I figured I'd save to laugh about later. I snapped a picture of the pile and sent it over. "Everything's out. Pick it up in 2 hours or I'm donating it." She replied, "You can't do this. I pay rent." But the truth was she didn't. She'd contributed to groceries maybe 3 times over 6 months. "I'm coming over. We need to talk. You're overreacting. It was just a joke." A joke? Like the time she threatened to destroy my vintage concert posters because I chose to go to my cousin's bachelor party instead of her office happy hour? Or when she jokingly tweeted she was single after I couldn't get her that designer necklace. Classic. 15 minutes later, her car skidded to a stop in my driveway, and before it was even fully parked, Emma was out of the car with mascara running down her face. She banged on the door, yelling, "Open up! This is insane." Then she tossed a box at the door like that would somehow make it seem classy. I told her stuff was on the porch and asked her to just take it and go. But she shot back, "I'm not leaving until we talk." And I warned her I'd call the cops for trespassing if she didn't. Her choice. She grabbed another box and threw it at the door again. Really mature, right? Then she plopped down on the steps, calling for backup on speakerphone, her mom. "Honey, what's wrong?" her mom asked. "Mom, he's kicking me out over a text." "What did the text say?" There was a pause. I said maybe we should break up, but I was joking. Silence hung in the air. "Emma Jane, you didn't. That was a test to see if he'd fight for me." Suddenly, her mom was defending me. "Come home. We need to talk." Loved that twist. But Emma wasn't done. 3 days later, her meltdown turned into a show. Day 1 was all about denial. Day 2 brought the anger. By day 3, she was bargaining and stalking a bit. She even tried the classic, "I'm pregnant" stunt. Texting me at 1 a.m. with, "We need to talk. I'm late." Late for what? My period. I might be pregnant. Funny, though, considering she'd been on the pill forever and we hadn't hooked up in a month because she'd claimed I was being distant. I told her pills fail sometimes, so take a test. Just let me know the results. If it's positive, we can deal with it through lawyers. You're really going to make me do this alone? She shot back. Remember you broke up with me? Silence. No, baby. Big surprise there. Then came the social media blitz. A sad selfie with a caption that read, "When you give someone 2 years and they toss you out like garbage over a mix-up." Her friends piled on, saying men are awful and she's better off. But my friends saw through it. My buddy Alex commented, "Didn't you dump him though?" That post was gone in 45 minutes. So, she started claiming I was holding on to her stuff like a necklace from her grandmother that never even existed, and a phone charger that was actually mine. If you've got sentimental stuff, either name it or just let it go. And as for the money you think you owe me, for what? Just one text back? Everything you left was sitting on the porch. You tossed a box at my door and then took off with it. I have the camera footage, by the way. Just stop. It got worse when she started messing with my work, calling my office and pretending to be from my dentist with urgent results. My receptionist forwarded her call to my cell, and I recognized her voice right away. Impersonating medical staff? That's illegal, Emma. I needed to talk, but this is harassment now. Any further contact goes through lawyers. You can't threaten me. I know your secrets. What are you going to do? Expose my fantasy football stats and recipe searches? That's pretty pathetic. Then she hung up on me. Peak entitlement hit when she showed up at my gym one morning. I was in the middle of a deadlift at 6:30 a.m. when the staff came over to tell me, "Sir, this lady says she's your girlfriend. Ex-girlfriend, actually. We broke up just 5 days ago. She's not supposed to be here. Babe, please don't do this." She texted me to break up and I agreed, but now she's acting like a stalker. Security had to step in and escort her out, marking her membership. She yelled that I was ruining her wellness journey, even though she hadn't set foot in the gym in 2 years while I continued to pay for it. Later that day, her friend Chloe called me up, saying I should take Emma back. I asked, "Why?" She said, "Emma's crashing on my couch and crying nonstop. It's been 3 days. I told her that was on her. She messed up. Normal people don't test relationships like that. She's threatening something drastic." Like what? A bus ticket to her ex's town? Fine by me. Good luck with that. "You're cold," Chloe said. I replied, "I'm just single. That's her choice." The whole ex-boyfriend stunt was probably just a bluff to get me to beg her to stay. I ended up blocking her everywhere and tried to get back to my life. 2 weeks later, things got worse for Emma as her plans fell apart. That trip to her ex? Total lie. She just went to her cousin's place, about an hour away, and posted photos to make it seem like she was out of town. Turns out, her cousin was tired of her drama and let me know the truth. Emma hired a life coach who was a friend of hers and ran some online seminar to try to manifest me back into her life. Out of nowhere, this coach, Leah, reached out to me on LinkedIn. She said something like, "Hi, I'm helping someone from your past clear emotional blocks. Would you be open to a talk about forgiveness?" I wasn't interested. I believe closure is important for both sides. I'm emotionally closed off and literally blocked her from contacting me. After that, Emma started trying to reconnect through mutual friends, showing up at every gathering and acting all surprised to see me. Like at board game night at Alex's. She goes, "Oh, I didn't know you'd be here." Alex had given her a heads up that I was coming. Even at our usual pub quiz, she acted shocked. What a coincidence, right? She took to her social media to post about it. And that beach barbecue? She claimed, "The universe keeps aligning us." I just left. My free time wasn't meant for her drama. Emma began cornering our friends, complaining about how we miscommunicated and how I was overreacting. Her version of events got more exaggerated. First, she claimed I joked with her and kicked her out. Then it became I shared my feelings, and she ended up homeless. Eventually, she spun a story that I was the one who wanted her gone, probably for someone else. In reality, there was no other woman, just my gaming console that was getting more attention in my peaceful life. I had to think about getting a restraining order when she started showing up outside my workplace. Not coming in, but sitting in her car during my lunch break, holding a sign that said, Let's talk. Security noticed and HR had to step in, offering to call the cops. I told them, next time. The following day, her new sign read, "You can't ignore us." So the cops came and gave her a warning. I filed for the restraining order. The nerve. Then she sent her new boyfriend, Derek, from a dating app to confront me. He came to my door, acting tough. UX. Yeah. You tossed her out over nothing. She dumped me. I agreed. She didn't like it. Then he said she claimed I was abusive and mentioned the restraining order. I was like, the what? I showed him the paperwork, along with police reports and video of her causing a scene. Derek froze, processing everything. Man, I'm sorry, he said. She said you were stalking her. I told him, run, Derek. Fast. And just like that, he was out of there. Minutes later, Emma called, screaming, but I ignored her. Her voicemail was something else, saying I ruined her chance at love by sabotaging Derek. A month later, the restraining order was granted, 500 feet from me, my home, and my workplace. The judge looked through everything. Texts, camera footage, police reports, and witness statements from the gym and my office. Ma'am, you broke up with him. He accepted it. Everything else is harassment. Emma insisted it was a misunderstanding and claimed I knew she was joking. When the judge asked, why joke about breaking up? And she said it was to see if he loved her. The judge called it manipulation, not communication. Order granted. She tried to find loopholes, sending letters through friends that got returned unopened, calling her mom, blocked, and making fake social media accounts that reported showing up just after I left places. Technically, she was 500 feet away, right? But the last straw was when she applied for a job at my company. Same building, different department. HR flagged it because of the restraining order, and her threat of a discrimination lawsuit went nowhere. Rumor has it she lost most of her friends when the full story came out. Chloe kicked her out after Derek, and her parents started charging her rent to live at home. Emma ended up in court-mandated therapy after violating the order and lost her job. Not my fault. She eventually quit going to therapy. Her last attempt was a letter from her actual therapist, asking to help her find closure. My lawyer shot back. Any closure needs to respect the restraining order without my involvement. Now, 6 months later, life is pretty chill. I've been casually dating, nothing serious, and focusing on work. I got a raise. My home feels like mine again since I swapped out her decor for my own. No more Instagram props, either. Just last week, I ran into her mom at a store. Awkward but polite. She said, I'm sorry, Lucas. Emma's working on herself. Hope it helps. She knows Emma messed up. It's over. I'm moving on. You're a good guy. She had it good. Past tense. Take care. That's it. She tried to test our relationship by threatening to end it, and I called her bluff. She expected me to plead, argue, and prove my love. Instead, I just packed her things and moved on. Lesson learned. If someone threatens to leave to control you, let them. If they genuinely wanted to stay, they wouldn't put you to the test. If it's a test, it's already failed. I only regret not doing it sooner. Those throw pillows were the worst. Now Emma's with some guy playing their testing games. They break up weekly. Perfect fit. Meanwhile, I'm testing new grilling recipes and smashing my gym PRs. Clearly, we're both thriving outside her games.